Hi, I'm Michele Draft, and I'm the Director of Go Serve and Communications at Crossroads Church. Go Serve facilitates the serving opportunities in our church, in our community, and in our world. I also get to work with the Go Serve team. And our goal is to empower, encourage, equip, educate, and excite Crossroads people to serving people towards Jesus. I'm privileged to help people develop the ministries of their heart, and I also get to see this big bird's eye perspective of how Crossroads people impact our community and our world. See, Crossroads is merely the vehicle to God's work that you invest your time, resources, and talents. Did you know that in 2011, through the Crossroads Community Food Bank and North Denver Cares Food Pantry, you helped serve food 28,000 times to families in need in the North Denver metro area? Also, through Cold Weather Care, you serve local homeless families in crisis during the winter once a month for 7 full days and fed them, gave them a warm place to sleep, and served them with dignity and love. You also gave 4,000 hours with 60 special projects last year alone to projects in our neighborhood, cities, and across the ocean. This doesn't even include the ongoing ministries like ESL, the Community Garden, Sheer Compassion, just to name a few. Each weekend, over 100 committed volunteers help make church happen. Without your faithfulness, the doors couldn't open and welcome new people in. You gave thousands of items to assist children in need, like diapers, bicycles, coats, toothpaste, school supplies, and Christmas gifts. You also help support the work of 14 missionaries in 14 different countries around the world. And there's much, much more. But this just gives you a big perspective of how you as an individual are part of the bigger collective impact of Crossroads. What is actually harder to measure is the way that God is using us to have an impact on an individual's life. I wanted to share a personal story with you and show you some photos of our extended family. These are the Nepalis. They're refugees from Bhutan. And before 3 years ago, they lived in a refugee camp on the border of Bhutan and Nepal for the past 18 years. Through the refugee work that Pastor John Sittner started, my husband and I were asked to adopt a refugee family. First of all, we really didn't even know what it meant to be a refugee, but we prayed for courage and asked God to help us. And we just sensed the calling, and He said, "You can do this." Our job was to help them assimilate into American life and demonstrate Jesus' love. Have you ever taken anyone to the American grocery store for the very first time in your life? And you can't even speak the language. Well, our first thing is we're standing in the produce section and none of the fruits and vegetables even looked familiar to them. And I thought, how many kinds of fruits and vegetables are there? But obviously our country has a lot that we don't even know about. Through a long journey in the grocery store, what I eventually learned was all they really wanted was rice and lentils. This is something they eat every single day, and they still do to this day, is rice and lentil soup. So the task seemed overwhelming, especially with the language barriers. How do you teach somebody to know the difference between junk mail and important mail? How do you teach them to use an oven? Or pick out a good used car when that red sports car just seems like the one they want? My husband was a very patient teacher, and they learned quickly. And eventually they were able to find jobs, enrolled in school, buy a used car, and even moved into their own new place. It was very exciting. We grew to love them, and we're very blessed to have them as a part of our extended family. One of the most exciting times was the day that Beta graduated from high school. God's hand was really present in that there were so many obstacles to overcome, and we really never knew if this day would be possible. It was such a day of celebration. And just last week, you kind of know that they've arrived. It was so great. Chinta, one of the guys, texted us and invited us for dinner. Of course, it was going to be rice and lentil soup. And since it was Valentine's Day, a special day, we were being served goat meat. Through building this relationship, and because the younger generation has picked up English so quickly, we're able to have more in-depth conversations. They're open to coming to church, and we're also able to talk about this guy named Jesus. Well, I really want to encourage you that every single one of you has a gift. God has given you each a special gift. Each one of you has room in your hearts and the time to be the face and hands of Jesus. And I wanted to share with you two of my favorite scriptures, 1 Peter 4:10. Each one should use whatever gift he has received to serve others, faithfully administering God's grace in various forms. And also Ephesians 2:8-10. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not of your own doing, it is the gift of God, not a result of works, so that no one may boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them.